The day my father showed up at my ranch, he didn't come alone. He brought a lawyer. I saw the black car from the kitchen window, a trail of dust rising behind it as it cut across the long dirt road I had paid to have laid down. Every fence post, every gate, every inch of this land had a story, and none of those stories included him. "He's here," I said quietly. Daniel didn't react right away. He sat at the wooden table, flipping through a folder, calm as ever. The kind of calm that doesn't come from ignorance, but from preparation. "Let him in," he said. I stepped outside just as my father got out of the car. He adjusted his coat, looking around the ranch like he was assessing an investment instead of visiting his daughter. "You've done well," he said, his eyes scanning the land. "I built it," I replied. He gave a faint smile, the kind that always carried doubt. "Let's not exaggerate." The lawyer stepped forward slightly, already holding documents like this was a transaction, not a conversation. We walked inside in silence. Daniel stood when we entered, nodding politely, but he didn't offer his hand. My father noticed. He always noticed things like that. "Let's not waste time," my father said, sitting down without being invited. The lawyer placed the documents on the table and slid them toward me. I didn't touch them. "This ranch," my father began, folding his hands, "is the result of everything I provided you growing up. Education, stability, opportunity." I almost smiled. "You provided expectations," I said. "Not this." His jaw tightened. "Regardless," he continued, "it's only fair I receive my share." I looked at him directly. "What share?" "Half." The word sat between us like something heavy and immovable. "Half of my work. Half of my risk. Half of the years I spent proving him wrong without ever saying it out loud." "You want half of something you didn't build?" I asked. "I'm your father," he snapped. "That's not nothing. It's not ownership either." The lawyer finally spoke, his tone smooth and practiced. "It would be wise to settle this without escalation." I leaned back in my chair, studying them both. This wasn't about fairness. This was about control. "You really think you can walk in here and claim this?" I said. My father didn't hesitate. "Yes." The confidence in his voice would have shaken me once. "Not anymore." That's when Daniel closed the folder in front of him. The quiet click cut through the room. He looked up, calm, steady, and for the first time, fully engaged. "Go ahead," he said evenly. "Tell him whose name is actually on the deed." The shift was immediate. My father frowned, confusion breaking through his certainty. "What does that mean?" The lawyer paused, flipping through the papers again. Slower this time, more carefully. A crease formed between his brows. "What is it?" my father pressed. The lawyer cleared his throat. "The property is not registered under your daughter's name." Silence fell. My father turned to me, sharply. "Then whose name is it under?" Daniel didn't raise his voice. "Mine." The word landed harder than any argument could have. My father stared at him, disbelief spreading across his face. "That's not possible." "It is," Daniel replied. "Every acre, every structure, every legal document tied to this ranch." "That makes no sense," my father said, turning to the lawyer again. "Check it again." "I already have," the lawyer said quietly. I watched it all unfold, feeling something settle inside me. Not anger, not satisfaction, but something steadier. Truth. "I paid for this ranch," I said. "Every part of it." My father looked at me, his voice sharper now. "Then why isn't it yours?" "Because I chose differently." He blinked, thrown off. "You gave it away?" "No," I said. "I secured it." Daniel leaned forward slightly, his voice calm but firm. "You came here expecting leverage, but you don't have any." My father's confidence cracked. Just enough to show what was underneath. Uncertainty. "You think this changes anything?" he said. "It changes everything," Daniel replied. I stood then, walking to the window. The land stretched out endlessly, golden under the late afternoon sun. This place wasn't just property. It was proof. Proof that I could build something without him. "You always thought I needed you to succeed," I said quietly, still looking outside. "That I'd fail without your approval." He didn't answer. "Turns out," I continued, "I just needed distance." The room stayed silent. When I turned back, he looked smaller somehow. Not physically, but in presence. Like the version of him that controlled everything no longer existed here. You have no claim, the lawyer said carefully, closing his folder. None. My father stood abruptly, the authority he walked in with completely gone. This isn't over, he muttered. Daniel didn't move. It never started. There was nothing left to argue. No ground to stand on. I walked them to the door, not out of courtesy, but closure. The car drove off, disappearing down the road, taking the weight of years with it. When I turned back, Daniel was still standing there, steady as ever. You okay? He asked. I nodded, looking out at the land again. For the first time, it didn't feel like something I had to defend. It just felt like mine. Not because my name was on it, but because I chose the life that built it. And no one, especially not him, could take that away.